Hello, and welcome to the Web Project video series for CISW300 Web Publishing, taught by Professor Fishman. This first video is an introduction to team communication and collaboration, which covers sharing files, online collaboration via video conferencing and screen sharing, and a quick note about using Google Calendar for coordinating online meetings. So let's get started. When you log into Canvas, you're presented with your dashboard screen. On this dashboard screen, there is actually a link that takes you to Google Drive. Google Drive is where you can actually store your online files. It's a cloud service that's provided to you free of use through your Los Rios Community College student account. Let's click on that and you see that it pops up. The first thing that you will see is any recent files that you've accessed. In addition, you can create folders. I've created a series of folders here that I use to store pictures, past class, current class information. Each one of those folders can have subfolders. There's also another link on there that's called Team Drives. And the Team Drive is where you would actually start to do your collaboration with a team project. So let's click on that and see. On the Team Drive, what we see is I've already created a folder, but you could create another folder and you just name the folder what you want it to be. And let's say this is just the test team, and it actually creates the test team, and then it pops you into that test team. And then at this point, you can see there's only one member that's in this team, and that member is, of course, if I click on there, you'll see that it's just me. However, I can add team members. So if I wanted to, I can add Professor Fishman. And there are different roles when you add a team member. So the top role that you can add a team member is that member is the manager of this actual team folder and subfolders. And a manager has the ability to not only be able to update content on that, but they also have the ability to be able to add other team members and change some of the settings about the folder itself, such as what theme is applied to that particular folder. The content manager is someone who has the ability to add and edit and delete files within that folder. However, they have a bit more information or a bit more permissions than a contributor. And a contributor also has the ability to be able to add and edit files in the folder, but they don't have the ability to be able to delete or move files or folders within the folders. And then there's a commenter role, and that role is like what you might add Professor Fishman as he has the ability to be able to come along and then make comment about certain aspects of the project as they're going along. And then the last level is just a viewer, if you want someone to have the ability to be able to view information on that folder but not be able to change anything about it or make any comments on it. So if I were to add Professor Fishman as a commenter, then I have the ability to be able to add a custom message on there. So Professor Fishman will get an email notifying him that he now has access to this particular folder. I'm going to add one other name on there. I'm going to add, you can also add people that are outside your Los Rios. However, though, I wouldn't always recommend that, but for the sake of this video and for testing purposes, I'm going to add my other Gmail account on there, and we're going to delete Professor Fishman, and we're going to just send this, you have been added as a team member message. All right, we send that. And it lets you know that, hey, it's outside your organization. However, I'm going to continue with that, and it's sent along. Now we see that we actually have two team members added to this particular folder. And once you're in this folder, you can begin to upload files. So you click anywhere on there and you say, hey, I want to upload a file, right? And so I can go in there and let's say I've created a logo that I want to use on the website. It's the Blue Woman logo. So I go ahead and I upload the file. And now that logo is available for other team members to be able to utilize, download, or etc. You can also, at this point, create a new folder. So maybe I decide that I want to be a little bit more organized, so I'm going to create an images folder there. Now I can take this and I can say I want to move it to that images folder, and I do a move on it. Now the images folder now contains the logo that people would be using for the project. There's a little piece up here that says the quick add, and it shows you all of the history or the recent things that you've done, just in case you wanted to access those. In addition, you can turn this little display off on the side, and that display shows you the activity that has taken place in this group project. Okay, so there was this thing where I said, hey, you can change the theme of it itself. So I can go ahead and pick a custom or theme that I want for the images if I wanted that. Or let's say I go back up and I'm looking at the team drive and I click on this and I can say, hey, I want to change the theme. I can pick from the gallery of themes that are there. So let's say this looks great. Let's say I don't see any coffee, but that one works well. All right. So now we've selected it, and now we see there's the image that all the team members would see, and they would get into this particular folder. It's been shared out. Additionally, when you're there, you can also create new documents such as a Google Doc, right? So that Google Doc can be one from a template where we'd say that we're going to go ahead and make it an MLA formatted document, or unfortunately it doesn't come with an HTML document. It's mostly anything that you would see in Word. It's very similar to Word. So let's say we're writing a quick class note, right? So I click on that and creates this document, and of course it changes slightly. It's the fall semester for 2019, and we'll just save that as is. Now Google automatically saves this. I'm not going to go over every single feature that Google has. You can find a lot of those out there on the web. There's probably some good YouTube videos that are out there. The purpose of this is really to kind of get you going with team collaboration and how that would look. So we now have in this particular folder, we've got the Blue Woman logo, which is stored in images, and then we've also got the class notes document. I could upload a Word document up here, and then other team members can be able to access it. I can upload an Excel document. I can upload HTML, CSS, whatever that you want to upload. It's Google pretty much takes it all. So now I'm sharing this out. To give you an example, I'm going to look at a prior project. This was the Talkies website project. There were 2 members in that project. Again, it was organized with images, and you can click on the breadcrumb up here. And then there was a development area where all of the things were, all of the HTML was broken out and put out there. It also had some subfolders in that development area, which included like again, images, JavaScript, CSS if you're using, you're at that level where you're doing CSS. And so when it came to actually doing the development, team members, the easiest way is to break up parts of the website, and each member gets a web page to work on. And then what we did on our project was we created an actual template, and that template was the first thing that we all got together and decided how the header and footer would be. And then each person was just taking that template and then using that for being able to create their individual pages that are there. All right, so let's move along to actual team collaboration, right? So a quick note that you can, when you're wanting to schedule a meeting, you can use your Google Calendars that comes with it. Let's say, got it here. And let's say I wanted to schedule a meeting coming up, let's say on the 20th with here. So you can quickly just go in and say, hey, I want to schedule a meeting. I want to create either an outer office event, or I want to create a meeting, right? And then you just simply go ahead and say meet on web project, right? And then you can add guests to that. So you can invite anyone you want, including your instructor, right? And you can say that you're going to join that meeting through Google Hangouts. And I'm going to be covering Google Hangouts in just a moment, right? In the meantime, though, you can invite as many team members as you want. You can set a reminder for when that's going to happen, and then you simply save it. It goes onto the calendar. It goes onto your team members' calendar. It'll pop up. They'll be able to accept it. They'll get an email piece for that. Okay, so now let's disregard that. And let's move along to the actual Google Hangout.